Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Split Tech City podcast. We're here with Morten Smalby, co-founder and CEO of GetByBus. Hi Morten.
Hi Nicole.
Thank you very much for joining us for the podcast.
Well, you're welcome. I look forward to it, although it was tricky finding a day with sun and Split here, but we finally managed.
Yeah, we had a little bit of rain here, but that's fine. We like rain as well.
Yeah.
But it's sunny today, so we get to enjoy the good weather and have a nice chat here.
Yeah.
So tell me, why Split? I mean, you came from Denmark here.
Well, as many things in life, it was a bit of a coincidence. I worked in Germany before, where I spent around 10 years of my life, and then some colleagues of mine somehow convinced me to go to Split for a few days, and I actually liked it here. And after a while, one of them said, "You know, all these things we saw in Split, I have an idea, should we set up a company here?" So I went home and said to my family, you know, there's an opportunity that we can go to Split and set up a company. And of course my wife was not very happy to hear that, but somehow I managed to convince her, okay, what if I go down here, try to set up the company, and if everything works, you can follow me later. And I set up the company, and of course everything which could go wrong went wrong. And I had to part from, actually there was two other founders of the first company, and I had to part with them and made the decision to stay down here because we already lost a lot of money, and I simply had to stay here and see if we could earn the money back and actually become profitable. So I got my family down here because otherwise I had to travel twice. I was down here 2 weeks, back home 3 weeks, down here 3 weeks all the time, and it was just too tough at that time, having 2 small children and these kind of things. So we finally agreed, everybody moves down here, and I work as much as I can to turn it around, and somehow I managed to do it. And learned lots of hard lessons, how it is to have your own company. But of course, everything which hurts you, if you get up again, you learn from it, and next time you have to set up a company, there's lots of mistakes you avoid.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So there were a lot of lessons learned along the way.
Oh, lots of lessons.
Anyone in particular?
I mean, there was kind of, which people to trust, these kind of things. When people said "nimmer problemer," it doesn't always mean "nimmer problemer." So there was these kind of things where I burned my fingers quite a few times, but eventually I figured out to be more calm and really think about it when there was some opportunities to see, is this the right people to work with, and these kind of things. So it evolved over the time. So to say anything specific in addition to that, I can't pinpoint anything, but there was lots of learning points.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about your company, GetByBus. How are you managing everything? What's the team like here in Split? Are there any internationals? Is it just a local team?
Okay, so basically GetByBus itself is fundamentally a platform which unites bus companies on one side with people who wish to travel on the other hand. So we have to deal with different kinds of people and make everybody happy. So that's sometimes a tricky situation, but we managed quite good till now. The team we have is basically more or less everybody local. We have one guy who actually grew up in Australia.
Nice.
But his roots are from here, and that's more or less, except for me, that's the most international part we have. Yeah. And the team, of course, has done a great job, and it has been also an interesting journey finding all the people here, because lots of the things we do, it's not so that we can say we need somebody who knows exactly that. In many cases, we have to educate the people themselves, because simply nobody have tried to do it this way. Also, we haven't tried it at the beginning, so there's a lot of learning by doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a really good aspect of that kind of work, because you don't have to have a set skill set. You learn as you go, and there are people who can support you in the company and teach you.
Yeah, and of course also you try to use the network which you have in Split. If there's things you want to get involved with, or you think you can improve your product, and you know somebody else did something similar, you try to see if you can set up a few meetings and talk with these people and get some guidance. What's the best way to improve it? Improve the stuff you have. And also when you hire people, I mean, within the technical side of our company, we know how to do that part and work with the technical team. But other aspects of the company, when we are hiring people, we don't have any idea about what the people need to do. So just setting up a job ad and figuring out what should I actually look for is sometimes
challenging.
It's challenging. And when you can get guidance from some other startup here in Split who actually did it, that's a great help on the way. Yeah.
So for you think that a community here, technical community, is quite helpful to
I think
what
it's
you
very
do?
helpful. And I mean, lots of the people we know from the community here in Split, we meet with them not only for business but also for pleasure and these kind of things. But everything is of course an exchange of what did you experience, what did you do good. Maybe also we work with this guy or this company and they did some really good things, they can maybe also help you. So it's always an exchange of experiences, no matter if it's with red wine or without.
So there's always a balance of good exchange of experiences, but also work life. So you work a little bit and then you drink a little bit of red wine.
Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, I think with many of the other people from startup here in Split, most of the time when we meet with them is actually with red wine and some nice food. And I think that's many times where you have the best exchange. But it's the same also with open coffee. You have a few beer and you meet a new people and hear what they are doing, and maybe then 3 months later you remember, now I need to do something with that. I met this guy, he said he knew something about it or he was working with it, and then you can give him a call and you're already one step ahead.
Yes.
Yeah,
so that's quite a benefit here.
Of course it's a benefit,
with good connections.
Yeah.
And any other benefits of life here? I mean, you have a family, you have children. Do they like it here?
No, they of course hate it here.
Yeah,
that's the reason why we stayed here.
I mean, of course they like it, but you said like your wife wasn't very happy with it in the beginning, but now she enjoys Split.
Of course, the whole family enjoys Split, and everybody, that's home for them. But it was of course tricky at the beginning. I remember when we moved down here, my kids were, I think, 2 and 5 years old. And they immediately started in Vertage.
Yeah, kindergarten.
And of course it was tough with them because they didn't understand everything, and it often happened that when I picked them up they were crying and all this stuff. And you, of course, as a parent, when the kids are not good, it also hurts you.
True.
So when we went back to Denmark for Christmas that year, we were really talking about, is this gonna work or is it not gonna work? But like a miracle, when we came back, it completely switched. Yeah. And the girls started speaking and everything got much easier.
So everything fit together somehow.
Yeah.
As
and
it usually does.
Of course, when I moved down here, I didn't plan to be in Split today, but basically we loved it here, so why should we move anywhere else? And after, everything has been going well with business, so there has been no reason to go anywhere else. And the kids has been, they have all their friends here, they grew up here, they know everything here, so they just love it here.
Yeah. That's really, really great to hear. And excellent that you are such an example of how it is to move here, start a life here, basically we couldn't say from scratch, but in a way.
Well, it was kind of from scratch. I didn't have anything when I came here, so I took a chance, and it worked out fine.
It worked out fine.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. But I mean, some of the things which maybe not many people think about if you are actually from Split and stuff, but which is one of the things which I love here. It's really a safe place to live. And many people don't think about that, but if you have tried to live in places where you didn't feel safe, you would basically see it in another way. And like, I remember when we had, often when we had visitors from Denmark, they came down and the kids were running outside at 11 o'clock in the evening. They were, but how can you leave your kids out at 11 o'clock in the evening? And then I took somebody and said, look here, now you need to see, we went down in the street, you know, there was 50 kids, you know, there was 10 parents sitting having coffee down there. I said, that's the reason why you can do that here, you know. So they were really amazed about that.
Yeah,
so
true.
That's really an aspect which you can't value high enough, because that's really important in life, that you feel safe where you live. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, that's really true, and something that we sometimes forget.
Yeah, when you grew up in places and you don't have anything to compare it with, you don't think so much about it. But when you actually have been in different places, and you have seen that as maybe not being a problem or something you would worry about, and then you move to a place where you don't have to worry about it. It's actually a huge difference.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for this lovely chat we had about your life here and your work here in Split. I hope we'll see each other soon on an open coffee or some of the events Split Tech City. Definitely. Often. Yeah. And for all of you, thank you for joining us. And if you would like to know more about Split Tech City, subscribe to our YouTube channel.